Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Jared Lee, and I'm joined, as usual, by my lovely wife, Jamie Lee. So, Jamie, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Jared. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I've been enjoying the weather the last few days, I'm just going to say, because it's been very nice, and it's about to get very hot. And I was like, the last couple of days have been in the 70s.
Yep.
I've been working outside as much as I can, just sitting out in the garage and working on my computer because it's nice, like a little bit of a breeze.
That's great.
I'm not, I'm not going to question it, but we did go to Disney/Universal last weekend for a couple days. Now, this was originally supposed to be a just Jamie and I trip, and then 24 hours before we left, we got readjusted. The kids came with us, which is fine. It's just we have to move a little slower with the children.
Do some things that we weren't planning on doing.
We have to account for their interests and wants, and now you have not only our daughter wants to do things, now our son is very vocal about things he wants to do.
That's what happens. They get opinions.
They get lots of opinions, yeah. So it's a lot of it was spent doing that, and we we'll talk about you ate at 1900 Park Fair. That's something we're going to talk about today. Yep. It was originally going to be you and I, and things changed, but it's okay.
It's all good.
I had a nice little day. I took our son into Magic Kingdom, and it was fun. Did a lot of stuff in there, and he enjoyed it. It's not with two kids sometimes it's like the one-on-one time with each one can be difficult, but I thought it was still a good time. But a little warm, but it was nice.
It was hot. It was in the 90s.
Like it would have been like in the 80s the whole time that we get there, and it was just one of those days where we were good to take a break midday.
Absolutely.
Which is what we typically do anyways. A lot of people ask us like how we go about our days in the parks, and even before we had kids we would do this, where it's like we try and get there early, do a bunch of stuff in the morning, be out of the parks midday when it's the hottest and the busiest.
Yeah, like then, 1 to 2-ish.
Yeah, and then like usually use that time to like swim or do something, and then maybe go back in the evenings is typically what we've always done. Sometimes that works, sometimes it does. Sometimes we find ourselves where it's like 3 o'clock and you're like, oh no, it's been here all day and I need a break. But because if you wait too long to take your break, then all of a sudden by the time you get back to your room, a lot of times it's
gotta go back.
That, or it's just like, do you even feel like going back? Because like if you go swim, it's like 6 or 7 o'clock. So that's typically the route we've usually taken with that stuff. But it was nice. But yeah, we also went over to Universal to just do a couple things over there, and it was busy there, but it wasn't horrible.
It was okay. Like what did we do? We did Villain Con. We did the Villain Con ride.
Some of it was a little low wait, and then as the day went on, it got a little bit busier.
We rode E.T.
Yeah.
The Twirling.
We'll talk about the Universal show, but we ate at a certain restaurant that it reopened, and it was okay. Not terrible, but not great.
We'll actually cover that on the next episode on Monday, on the new Universal episode.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we'll talk about it there. But so we did that. So we were in Orlando. We came back on Saturday. And it was a little bit more 24 hours. Yeah. But nice little trip there and all that. But today we got some news we're going to talk about. And then, of course, we're going to talk about 1900 Park Fair and all that. But before we do that, just want to remind everybody, if you're watching us over on YouTube, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you would not mind. And if you're listening to us on just the good old-fashioned podcast feed, we'd love that. It just ask whatever platform you listen on, subscribe to the show, and leave us a review if you wouldn't mind. It helps us continue to grow the show. And if you want to contribute to the show or want even more content, you can look at joining Club 32, which is our private group where we have, again, more content. Like we have Cool Kids Kitchen, which we're going to do very soon, which is a monthly live stream where we make a Disney or Universal-based dish. And then usually it goes well, but either way, you're along for the ride as we make it, and sometimes it works out well, sometimes it doesn't. Either way, we make it, so it goes where. We have the Club 32 show live stream every Tuesday where we chat with everybody, and it's always a good time. The newest show we're going to do, a lot of people had asked again for like a Diz Dudes type show where it's like rotating guests, but we're going to do that type of show. We're going to call it the Clubhouse. I think it fits with Club 32. So we'll have some rotating guests. So basically just as a, who wants to do it basis, figure out how many people want to do it, where we have rotating guests and talk about whatever you want. So that'll be in there. Plus there's music loops. You get 20% off of CTM apparel and 1901 Candle Company products year round. Private Facebook group, private Discord, and a lot of other things there. So if you want to join there, you can go to ctmvip.com. We have monthly or yearly options, and we even have a free trial if you want to do that, if you're on the monthly side, or if you do a yearly subscription, you get a free t-shirt. So either way, you get something for free. And there's also meetups and other things as well. You get to know some cool people in there. So again, ctmvip.com is where you go for that. All right. The first news story we have is that the dates for this year's EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival have been announced.
Yeah, the festival this year is happening August 29th through November 23rd. That is more than a month less than last year. We will see returning favorites like global marketplace booths like Belgium, the Alps, Germany, and Hawaii. Meals, fromage, montage, food stroll. Festival merchandise featuring Rummy, Mickey Mouse, and Figment now. Interesting. Elements of the festival added to the Communicore Hall, which is opening this summer. Eat to the Beat concert series, and Remy's Ratatouille Hide and Squeak. Those are all returning for next year. We don't have any more information besides that, but it is interesting. It is interesting that it's not starting until late August this year.
Yeah, I like it better. I've felt like for a while now that starting in July is... I enjoy food and wine. I enjoy it less and less as time has gone on compared to, say, like Festival of the Arts, some of the other festivals.
Yeah.
But starting in July, kind of the last thing you want to do is walk around the World Showcase in July and August.
Right.
Eating a lot of times hot foods. And it's just... It's way too hot. And I think, too, like, it goes on to... we said this last year in the last couple of years. It's gone on too long where it doesn't feel like it's special. It's just this thing that's always there.
Well, when EPCOT is perpetually in a festival state, it feels like there's just, okay, here's a festival. Which one is this one? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like it's special. And also, food and wine feels very fall-like. It feels very like autumn. So the fact that they're not starting until just, a few weeks before the official start of fall, I think is a good thing. Now, that also means that we have no festival between, I think it's May 28th is the last day of Flower and Garden.
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
And August 29th. So we have 3 full months of no festival. So we're thinking, okay, is Disney going to do a different kind of festival this summer? Are they going to do like some kind of summer celebration? Are they going to use elements of Communicore Hall and Communicore Plaza?
I think that's what they'll do.
And just use that as part of, to bring people in and to get crowds there.
Well, that was my first thing is, like, EPCOT without a festival, I'm very curious as to how crowds go with that. Because, I mean, it's still, in my opinion, the biggest draw to EPCOT is the fact that there's a festival. So... Yeah, I think they'll probably use Communicore Hall because they've already announced some of the things they're doing, like the whole Encanto stuff. They could now they have talked about in the past, like there's going to be food booths in that area and try and they've talked about before, at least they did in the past, about bringing the festivals like more toward the front. Because one of the issues they've had is like the festival's all the way in the back and some people like maybe didn't know about it and things like that. So they've already talked about wanting to do that. I don't think it's a terrible idea to do a smaller... do like some sort of, you could do like a beer garden. You could do like summer drinks, like these, like light, cool type things in there, maybe where there's potentially air conditioning and stuff like that. So I think they could do that. I don't think that would be a bad idea, but I think it's a good idea to save food and wine more toward the fall because it becomes more of an event than this ongoing, lingering show that you're just like, or not show, festival. That's, I remember last year we were just like, oh yeah, when's it over? Oh, and we felt like we're not really known for food reviews, but I like once the first little, you get the vloggers and the bloggers over there that do their stuff. There weren't a lot of people back there until fall anyway. So I'm thinking they're probably seeing the crowds waiting anyways. I'm just curious how the crowds at EPCOT will be because if they don't go to EPCOT, that means the other parks will probably be more crowded.
Well, also, I think the reason they started so early the last couple of years and started it in July, I think it was July 14th. It was in 2022. It was July, I want to say 27th or 28th, something around there for 2023. I think was just because they were still recovering from the lack of crowds coming in from, the COVID, the vid. So I think that was a big part of it. And they were just like, well, festivals bring the people in, let's just make it longer. And I think now they're like, okay, we're kind of evening out. We've got this new stuff in EPCOT. Let's just use that. So I think that'll be really interesting to see how the crowds react because I don't know if we don't really go to Disney like a lot when there's not a festival going on at EPCOT, it seems.
Well, in the last few years when there's not been a festival going
exactly.
on.
So
like
when
2 weeks out of the year.
Yeah. And like when you walk through World Showcase and there's no festival, it's like, it feels really eerie. Like there's just not as many people there. It doesn't feel like there's not as much going on, you know? So,
well, there's not as much going on. I mean, you're not going to have the food kitchens and things like that. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting. What they announced that they were going to do this summer with like, you know, Encanto show and all this stuff like that. I don't think that's like if they're thinking that's going to solve the issue of like the crowds, I don't think that's enough to really draw a lot of people over. I feel like they maybe need to do more. So what'll be interesting is if the crowds don't show up, do they then create some sort of like very quick little thing? Like, oh, we're going to have a little like fall or summer summer festival, something like that. So
yeah, why not do like some kind of Summerfest? Just call it Summerfest.
Yeah, I mean,
do something with that.
Again, I mean, you could do, like SeaWorld and other places, like they have an actual beer garden. You could do fruity drinks. It doesn't have to be all alcoholic. Like you could have popsicle stuff, ice cream things. Like I think stuff like that would go really well, and it would make sense if it's hot outside. Drink cooler things and not have as much as I love it, I don't really want hot cheddar soup in the middle of July.
You save that for November.
I mean, nothing like getting the meat sweats and the soup sweats along with just the regular sweats. It's just a lot of different sweats commingling there. But, but yeah, and Thanksgiving is later this year as well.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is November 28th, which is like the latest it ever is.
Yeah.
So we have basically almost feels like a full week more between, in November, basically before Thanksgiving. Yeah. So that's why it's until the 23rd.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't like the fact that maybe we won't get as much of Festival of the Holidays, but we'll see how this goes. I'm very curious how this will go with the crowds, like how they'll react to it and everything.
I am also curious.
We will stay curious, and we will let you guys know when we find out anything.
Okay.
All right. Next news story we have is that there is a new experience that is coming to Storybook Circus.
Yeah, it's called Smellophants on Parade, and this is presented by Scentsy. And it's basically like they call it a search and sniff experience. And you basically get like a little map with stickers, and you go around and you find different elephants that have like a different theme. So like we actually saw one when we went to Disney last weekend, and there was one that was up that was popcorn themed.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I didn't really smell anything. I don't think you smell anything yet.
I couldn't smell anything.
I don't think it's ready yet. But and if you go, when entering Storybook Circus, guests will stumble upon a casting call posted by Timothy Q. Mouse seeking out a whiff assistant to join Dumbo's newest act. At the ticket booth in front of Big Top Souvenirs, a cast member will provide guests with an illustrated map of the land and a sticker sheet to guide them in their task as a whiff assistant. Find all 8 Smellophant statues scattered around Storybook Circus using the stickers and map to track their progress. So.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I've never heard of a thing like that, but.
I think it's interesting. It's free, so you don't have to pay for it. Sure. I think it's a nice activity to do, like with the kids. They can participate. Kids love stickers.
They do love stickers, and they love stickers that smell like things. That is also very true.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, so that is coming, and they haven't said when though. So soon.
I mean, like we said, one of those statues is up, but that's right now.
Well, actually, I think 3 of them are up now.
Well, that we saw. Were the 3 up when we were there?
No, just the 2.
That's what I thought.
They have 2 more now.
Okay. All right. In interesting news here, we have a permit that has been filed for work on the Imagination Pavilion over in EPCOT.
Yes, and it is categorized under general construction, so we don't really know much more than that, but we do know that it expires November 28th, 2025. And based on other projects giving a timeline or expiration with the permit like this, it's usually doesn't expire. But the fact that there is an expiration is interesting. Now, this could be having to do with a ride. It could be involving the ImageWorks area. It could be the DVC Lounge. It could be even the Pixar Short Film Festival. It could even be the bathrooms behind the ride. We just don't know what it is, but there's a lot of people that are very excited at the potential that maybe they're going to redo in Journey into Imagination. I don't know. I saw
some people theorizing that. I think people saw Imagination Pavilion and kind of started running with it. I don't think that will be the case, unfortunately, as much as I think that ride definitely needs something to be done on it. Just A, the timeline, and B, the timing of it. So they're already announced that they're going to do Test Track. So while Test Track is down, you would have potentially another ride be down. So and EPCOT already doesn't have that many rides to begin with. And if you don't have a festival going on for part of that time, like in the summer, I have a feeling it's just something much smaller, like a refurb. I mean, if it is anything to do with the ride, maybe it's like to replace the carpet in there.
Maybe.
Or clean it or something like that. But yeah, I don't believe it's going to be like, Journey into Figment or Journey into Imagination is going to get a giant new redo or anything like that.
I mean, my vote's going to be on the Pixar Short Film Festival. That's my vote. They're doing something with that.
That's
my vote.
I mean, something like that. Yeah. Is that running right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody ever goes there though.
Well, that's where Mickey and Minnie meet currently.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But as soon as Communicore Plaza, Communicore Hall, all that opens over there,
they're going up there.
They have it literally. It says Mickey and Friends, like the huge marquee out there where they do the meet and greets. Yeah. So they're moving over there. So I don't know what they're doing with that space. I mean, it's just a queue right now, but
yeah, who knows what they're going to do there? But we will see. So, all right, next story we have is the 35th anniversary of Disney's Hollywood Studios is happening on May 1st.
Yeah, there's gonna be a celebration on that day at 11 a.m. in the Theater of the Stars, which is where they do the Beauty and the Beast live on stage show. They will not have any Beauty and the Beast showings that day, but they will have some leaders, executives, maybe celebrities, I don't know, but just a presentation about it.
Define celebrity.
I don't know. They're not telling us.
John Stamos.
Oh, that would be great. They're also going to have some special limited 35th anniversary merchandise at the Stage 1 company store, which is over in Muppet area. And there's going to be a virtual queue for that, just in case. And there's going to be like Loungefly, hat, shirt, pin, and I'm sure more, but that's all that they've shown us so far. More information will be revealed soon.
Yes. I don't know there. I'm sure Josh D'Amaro will make an appearance.
Yes.
He may be the celebrity because
I actually went to Hollywood Studios in May of 1989.
Well,
my mom is very proud of that. She's like, it just opened. And I was like, oh, really? I can't remember. The only thing I can remember is that they were heavily promoting Roger Rabbit. And there was this big thing you could take a picture with, like you were driving in his car. And my brother and sister and I took a picture with it. I remember that. But I was like 4 or 5.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't. I think the first time I went, it was still MGM.
It was still MGM.
Yeah.
That was when did it change to MGM or Hollywood Studios? Like 2008?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It was sometime in the 2000s. I thought it was before, but I looked at it one time and it was around the 2000s time.
But anyway, so 35 years. Looking good, Hollywood Studios. Different, but good.
I mean, it's interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah, it's had some things done to it in the past few years. But, all right, and that's really all the news we have. We did go back and try some snacks over at the festival. Festival of the Garden. Festival of the Garden. Flower and Garden Festival.
Yes.
Because they have some of the Farmers Feast booth sort of rotates things. So they had some new things to do. Now Jamie tried these. I was doing something with what was I doing?
You were with Tom.
Oh, that's right. We went and rode Soarin'. That's right. Yes.
But they have a springtime menu that began March 31st and runs through April 27th. So I really want to try it because I had heard it was really good. And there's 2 items that are new for the springtime menu. There is a blueberry buckle with lemon creme fraiche.
Creme fraiche.
I knew you were going to say it. I was just waiting.
If you guys haven't seen South Park, you should watch that episode.
It's $4.75, and then they also have a seared scallop with tomato risotto featuring Ben's original international grains, arborio rice, and tomato beurre blanc. I don't know. $7.75 for that. I'll start with the blueberry buckle cake. It was good. It just tasted kind of like a muffin, like a muffin top.
Like just the top up. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it kind of just tasted like that with like a little bit of a lemon glaze on it.
Okay.
It was okay. It wasn't that great. It was okay. But the scallop was super good. Now, it was one scallop for $7.75, but it was big. It was a big scallop. Could you get 2 of those and do like, you know, it would cost $15.50 if you got 2 of them, but I think you'd be more full. Like it'd be more of like a meal you would get like at a table service restaurant, I guess. But I thought it was delicious, and the risotto was so good. It wasn't too tomatoey, which was great. But it was still delicious. I would definitely get that again. And I'm not a seafood person.
Okay.
But it tasted really good. Not too fishy of a taste. Not too seafoody.
I have liked the scallops that Disney does in the past, but typically you just don't get. I mean, lately you don't get many at all, and they're way more expensive. But
I mean, $7 for one scallop. I'm just thinking of table service restaurant menus, like their pricing. They would probably charge you what, $40 for like 4 of them.
I actually have no clue. I've never had scallops at a restaurant, so I don't know.
I mean, I'm just thinking like it actually wasn't a terrible deal. And this was like 30 minutes before the booth closed, and it still tasted really good. So I mean, I would get that again. Can't wait to try the next menu. So you guys should try it too.
There you go. And Jamie, that's all for the news and everything. Jamie did not do a poll time this week.
I don't know what was wrong with me. I don't know. I just completely like skipped my mind. I think I thought I did. I don't know.
It happens, but we'll just be like, Jamie doesn't have a poll time. That's where it normally would go, but we don't have it.
But anyway, I will have one next week, I promise. And I do those in the Facebook group and Instagram. So if you want to participate in the polls there, you can go over there and answer them.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I should have played this. That's what I should have played.
That's what you should have played.
I forget all my sounds I have here. I need to add more of them.
Anyway.
So, all right. Well, let's talk about 1900 Park Fair. Jamie and our daughter did this. So if you're not familiar with what this is a character breakfast over in the Grand Floridian.
They also do a character dinner that we just did the breakfast.
Yes. So reopened on April 10th, has a refreshed look, new characters, new menu items. And again, for the breakfast, it is 8 a.m. to noon, and the dinner is 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. And the food is buffet style. So you either typically with these have buffet or you have what they call just family. What do they call that?
All you care to enjoy.
All you care to enjoy. Yes. Family style. That's what it is. But this is buffet. The character dining it's inspired by magical stories and Victorian pastimes, as they say. And the characters you meet now are Prince Ali, Cinderella, Mirabelle, and Tiana. But when you guys did it, Cinderella wasn't out.
Yeah, and I'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, somebody else got subbed in.
That's right.
And the price for this is $54 per adult and $34 for kids for the breakfast, $66 for adults, and $41 for kids for dinner. So those are sort of the base level facts here about 1900 Park Fair. And I guess we'll just get into how it went. So we were a little late.
First of all, let's discuss being late because first of all, we were coming from our house, and so we got to Grand Floridian like right on time. Like our reservation was at 10:40, and we got there right on time. However, they make dining reservation guests that have dining reservations park on the other side of the street in the cast member parking lot now. And I didn't realize that, I guess.
I was going to talk about this. This is a mess.
So weird.
This whole area is a mess.
Oh my gosh, the construction is terrible.
Yeah, you go through the parking gate or the security gate. You turn out of there. You turn right. And again, the street that's on, there's so much construction. Like it is, again, it's a giant mess. Yeah. So you turn right and then you turn left again where the employee, like we said, the cast members park. But to walk that, I mean, it's not a horrible walk, but it is a good, I don't know, depending on how quick you walk, 5-ish minute walk, if not more for some people. Yeah. But they did have a golf cart that runs part of the day that is supposed to take dining guests to and from the parking lot.
Yeah, it was just a cast member that was driving them.
So they brought us in, but they weren't there when we left.
So we just walked.
I think they only run to like 1 maybe is what they said over at Bell Services. So yeah. There is that if you have an early morning one. But I just keep in mind, if you are coming here and you're driving in, allow yourself extra time because because I don't know. I guess they don't have the parking supposedly.
Oh no, their parking is so limited right now, and Grand Floridian is notorious for having like no parking at all. So
yeah,
especially with the construction. But yeah, so we were about 20 minutes late, but it actually wasn't a problem. When we finally got into the restaurant, pretty much the whole time, the tables, they were about 2/3 full. Like about 1/3 of the restaurant was empty, like the whole time we were there. And I was like, okay, interesting. Now we did get there at 10:40, and by the time we sat down, it was like 11:10. So reservations, they weren't taking reservations past noon. So it was normal to like not see that many tables. But so when you get there, so it's on the first floor. It's like right off the lobby, kind of like you're on your way to the Grand Floridian Cafe. When you walk in through the blue doors, the doors are blue now, by the way, and past the check-in desk, you immediately notice Big Bertha, which is the vintage organ that is displayed within the wall. And that was there before the renovation. But everything else has kind of changed. So the restaurant, it's smaller than I thought. Like I walk in, it's like, wow, this is kind of small.
Yeah.
Like it's just not that big of a restaurant. Still beautiful. Now, the carpet is new with like a blue and coral floral design. All the chairs are light blue and gray now. The walls are white and like a light pink. The back of the booth area is like a light green. Like everything is very like light and bright, basically. Now this character dining is called Wishmakers Enchanted Dining. They have renamed that. So where we are the Wishmakers. People eating at the restaurant are the Wishmakers. And I'll talk about more of that in a second. So located on the walls above as you're walking into the restaurant, there are murals of specific characters from Disney animated movies, where they are making their wish. So you see Cinderella crying on the bench, about to see the fairy godmother. You see Rapunzel on the boat, seeing the lanterns. You see Snow White at the wishing well. You even see Arthur pull the sword out of the stone. Like those specific moments, which I thought was really cool. So we got to our table, and it was kind of in the middle of the restaurant, I would say, like in the back area, but like toward the front of the back. So we were pretty much in the middle. And when we sat down, we saw Tiana immediately. Like she was right there as soon as we sat down. We're like, oh, hi. And she was lovely. She had her adventure wear on, which was cute. But she was fun. She was great. We took some pictures. Then maybe 3 minutes later, Prince Ali came around, and he was special because you never really see Prince Ali. You see Aladdin, but Prince Ali is pretty unique to see. Mm-hmm. So we were excited to see him. And our daughter was she's kind of Disney bounding as Princess Jasmine. She had the Princess Jasmine ears. Her dress was like a teal color. So she was really excited to see him because she wanted to like interact with him that way. And he was lovely. He really played it up. Like they took adorable pictures, like held her hand. They took pictures. I was like, this is so cute. So we loved that. That was great. And then we saw him, and then the Jiminy Cricket came on, the speaker, and started talking about wish making, like making wishes. And this is when we were instructed to write a wish on the back of our postcard that they give you. They give you a postcard that has the autographs of everybody, like all the characters that appear. Mm-hmm. And on the other side, you're supposed to write your own wish. Oh, okay. And so they tell you to take it out, hold it up. And then like, if you hold it up, it's going to come true or whatever. And then the characters that appear, they kind of do like a little parade, they could do with the other restaurants. They go around like do like a song and dance kind of thing. Mm-hmm. They kind of did the same thing. So it's kind of cute. And they do that about like once an hour. So we got to do that. And then this is where we got our food, which I'll talk about in a minute. But we also saw Snow White next. Now, Cinderella is supposed to be there. She wasn't there. Snow White was filling in. And she was delightful. She had this little beautiful voice, and she talks like this, and she actually scared me because I was like bending over to pick something up off the floor, and I sat back up, and she was right there, and she's like, oh, I didn't mean to frighten you, just like that. It was so sweet. I loved it. Okay. It was nice. I liked it.
I'm sorry she scared you.
I know you don't understand the character thing, but whatever.
Listen, I know it's not my thing, but I get it. So, okay. Yeah, but that does sound like how Snow White would talk. I get it.
Okay. And she came around. She was lovely. She pictures with our daughter and everything. And then we saw Mirabelle. And Mirabelle was like full of energy. Like she was talking like a mile a minute, blah, 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 but she was like her normal Mirabelle self, like she is in the movies. And she was super fun. So we all saw them within, I don't know, the first 40 minutes of us being there, and then we kind of had a little at the end, but we did get a couple plates of food, which I'll talk about. So this is a buffet, and I will talk about the ones that I thought were really good. I'm not going to say the whole thing, but I will talk about what I had that I loved. So I got the bread pudding with vanilla creme anglaise. That was delicious. Not super sweet, but it was so good. I think you would have liked that one.
Did it have raisins?
No. Had no raisins.
That's a good start, because for some reason they love throwing raisins into bread pudding. I don't know why. I will never understand it.
And so it was really good. They do have cinnamon pull-apart bread, which I almost got, but I was like, that's kind of similar to bread pudding, so I'm just gonna pass on that. They have the Grand Floridian strawberry soup. I got that with fresh strawberries and whipped cream. That was delicious. That's kind of like I don't know. It's like a really soupy yogurt, like really soupy strawberry yogurt. It's kind of how I would.
I know people talk about that. It doesn't look appealing to me.
Oh, it's so good.
It probably is good. I'm just saying
delicious.
From the looks of it, it just looked like that, like yogurt.
Yeah. Let's see. I had the beef potato hash. That was delicious. I would get that time and time again. They had scrambled eggs, the Disney scrambled eggs. I had some pork sausage. Our daughter ate some sausage, and she ate some bacon, which is crazy because she never eats bacon. Like
she said she liked it, yeah.
And she liked it. I was like, yay! So something else she'll eat. What else did I have? I had the croissant breakfast pizza. That was really good. Because it was like flaky layers of the croissant on the pizza. That was so good. The cheesy potato casserole was really good. I did not have the eggs Benedict because I don't like the sauce, but they did have that as well. They had some smoked salmon. Again, salmon's not my thing. I did get some ham, and the ham was so not good. I don't know what it was, but it did not taste good to me. And I don't know if it was just I got a bad slice or what, but it did not taste good to me.
Was it like dry?
No, like the flavor was off. Flavor was off. So I'm not sure what it was, but yeah, they have other stuff like biscuits and gravy and Mickey shaped waffles and Danishes and stuff like that. So, but the food in general was like really good. I mean, I had 2 plates of stuff, so I was full.
Okay.
It was definitely good. So, so we were there about an hour, about 60 minutes.
Okay.
So by the time we got our check and everything and all that, but yeah, I mean, that's basically it.
Okay. It's a character meal. What would you give it based on the characters, like the character interactions?
Like 1 to 10?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Rating characters 1 to 10. I would say this is a solid 8.5.
Okay.
I saw 8.5. Like the characters that were there were really good. Would they be characters that I would choose that I would like really, really want to see? Not all of them, but who was there was really good.
So who would have been the weakest one?
Oh gosh, the weakest one. I don't know. Prince Ali was good because of our daughter. Mirabelle was great. Keep Mirabelle. Tiana was good. She was good. She was very soft spoken. I could barely understand her, and I know that was maybe just the cast member. But she was good. I don't know. Maybe that's a great question. I actually don't know.
Okay.
I know you asked me that. I just don't know. I don't know who I want to take out, but definitely keep Mirabelle. She brought a lot of energy.
So they spent a good amount of time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because that's always the thing. Sometimes they're real quick, and sometimes they linger. But
no. And I didn't take any pictures with the characters just because our daughter was there, and she's. I feel like this is more for kids anyway, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, you just take all the pics. So.
Right. What would you give the food?
Oh, the food. Yeah, solid 8.5.
Okay, so pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it better than say like Tusker House?
On par. on par with Tusker House. I'm thinking of other buffets, like other character buffets. I think it's better than Ohana.
Yeah, the last few times at Ohana haven't been the best.
I know.
Yeah.
I think it's better than Chef Mickey's.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of other character meals. It's been a while since I've had Crystal Palace. I can't say anything about that, but
see, I like Chef Mickey's breakfast. I think it's really good. I just don't like where Chef Mickey's is.
Right.
Like it just is a weird setting for that. But yeah. All right. So overall, what would you give it? 1 to 10.
Probably stick with the 8.5. Everything else was 8.5. I would stick with an 8.5. It was a lovely setting. It was the Wishmaker thing was great. The characters were great. The management was all over the place.
Okay.
I mean, obviously they were trying to make sure everything was good. The food was great. I mean, like everything was just great. It was just great.
Okay. Well,
it's hard to describe. Just like we felt very fancy.
Well, you are in a country club, basically.
I know we're in a country club. We're in the theme park country club. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just felt like fancy and like proper, and I don't know. It was very girly. I wish they still did the afternoon tea in there, but they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, she would like that a lot. Our daughter, perhaps. So this is one that you would like recommend, and you would do it again.
Absolutely, I would definitely recommend this. So if you're going soon and you're thinking about a character meal to do, definitely look into this one. You're gonna find unique characters you can't see anywhere else. So you can't see Tiana in her adventure wear anywhere else. You can't see Prince Ali in his Prince Ali costume anywhere else. And yeah, you can see Cinderella. Obviously, she's in Magic Kingdom, and you can see Mirabelle in Magic Kingdom as well. But the other two you can't. So if you're looking for like unique characters, do this one, and then for the food and just the overall experience. So I would definitely recommend this one. I haven't tried dinner. I don't know what dinner's like, but I've heard it's also good. So
yeah, I always said if you want to do character meals, not that you save a ton. I mean, you could depending on how big your family is, but breakfast is still a better value because it's cheaper. Mm-hmm. So again, this one's about $10 cheaper for breakfast versus doing dinner.
Yeah. So. And like I always like to do a late breakfast, so it kind of serves as like a early lunch.
You mean like a brunch?
Yes, Jared. Thank you.
There's a word for that.
Brunch. But I meant like it could last you a while into the day. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to have a lunch.
I'm not really very hungry first thing in the morning anyway. So if we do stuff like this, I always prefer like a later breakfast.
Yeah. Anyway, I do that on purpose. So.
Well, I figured as much. We've had these discussions before.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm glad it would good. I assume our daughter. I mean, she was saying how much she enjoyed
loved
it as well.
And she actually ate food, which.
Well, I did tell her. I was like, the fact that like it was gonna be you and her. I'm like, listen, you have to eat food because this is like an expense. And she was like, okay. And she has gotten better about it in her defense. Used to what it was she didn't eat anything, but when our son was free, he would make up for it.
Oh yeah,
because that kid, he's so always ate a ton.
Yeah.
So now they got to pay for them both. I'm like, listen, we're eating some stuff in here.
Sorry, I should say she had pancakes, chicken sausage, bacon, and gummy bears.
Yeah, that's one thing you were saying that one of the desserts is gummy bears. I felt like that was very
gummy bears.
Unimaginative. Just like, Dad, just give him gummy bears.
I mean, she was very excited about the gummy bears. So I'm like, okay. But that's what she ate, and that's way more than she usually eats. So
yeah, she did tell me she liked bacon. And I was like, I've been telling her for years that she would like bacon.
It's delicious.
She acts like she's never heard of it before. And I was like, okay, glad that's another food. But now I just got to get her to eat steak. Yeah, she'll get there one day. But all right, well, that's going to do it for the show. So be sure to check us out over on the socials. It's at Cap the Magic everywhere except for TikTok, where it's at Capture the Magic. We also have some other shows on the network. If you want to check those out, we have the CTM Universal show, and that's twice a month. And then this next one, we're going to talk about our meal we had over at Circus McGurkus that recently reopened. Give you our thoughts on that. If that's something you should do on your next trip or skip. Either one there. Jamie also has Trip Tales, which is her trip report show. Mm-hmm. And when's the next one that you have coming out?
It'll be in a couple weeks, like mid-May.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a great resource if you got a trip coming up because you hear firsthand from people who just went and go into great detail on that. There's also the main YouTube channel at Cap the Magic. There will be we kind of like essay type videos, Epic Universe construction updates, things like that. So there'll be a new video this week. Go over there and check it out. If you haven't subscribed there, please do so. We greatly appreciate that. We are over 5,000 subs over there and growing. So I always like to see that continue to go up. And, of course, if you want to join our Club 32, ctmvip.com. If you want to check out the apparel side of things, that is ctmapparelco.com. And if you want to check out the candles, that's 1901candleco.com. But that will do it for the show. So thank you, everybody, for listening and or watching. And thank you, Jamie, for joining us.
Thank you.
And as Jamie always likes to say,
we will see you in the parks.
Bye.